Hey everybody, welcome to my very first video. I've never done a YouTube video before, but hey, what the hell. I figured there's a good time to start. I have started doing a blog about fitness and diet and nutrition because for a long time I had gotten away from doing anything remotely close to fitness or proper nutrition just because my life had taken me, well, life got busy and I put it to the wayside. Really poor excuses. It's just I did what I did. And now I am on what I call my fitness quest to get back in shape. Just to let me give you a little bit of background. I have a degree in exercise science. Most universities call it a degree in exercise physiology. I did personal training for around 6 or 7 years, but I really wasn't counting and I really didn't enjoy personal training. The majority of my clients had me as a status symbol and didn't really care about what kind of shape I was trying to get them in, and they whined quite a bit, and it really wasn't all that enjoyable. I have, for the last decade, worked in cardiology, specializing with devices that affect the heart. So now I have gotten to a point where I have also started really getting myself back in shape. A lot of that has to do with I have daughters, and when they get to dating age, I want to scare the crap out of the boys that come knocking on my door. It's just what I want to do. I want to intimidate the hell out of them. So I have wanted to get back into this and get back into shape, and I started jogging and I wasn't getting the results I wanted, and I didn't really have time to be hitting the gym as well. I spend my life on call, and I wanted something that I could do at the house, and I wasn't going to invest in a full gym at home. I didn't want to. So I started looking at different types of exercise again and looking at research. When I go to research, I go to institutions like the American College of Sports Medicine, the National Strength and Conditioning Association. I go to clinical journals. I try to go look at institutions that have done real research, real scientific, factual information, beyond the shadow of a doubt. That's where I want to get my information from. That's where I feel the most comfortable at. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. I love it. I don't have any problems with it. I encourage my girls that when they get older to date the nerd. That's what I am. So, anyways, you have different types of cardiovascular exercise. One is called steady state. You generally do steady state exercise from anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes. And it's generally the exact same exercise. So you'll go out jogging for 20 to 60 minutes, not including warm up and cool down. Warm up and cool down generally last for a 10-minute warm up on average and a 5-minute cool down. Those are just averages that the average trainer or person would tell you to do. It's personally what I do. Now, also, you now have interval training. Typically, interval training is doing alternating intensities of the same exercise. So, as an example, in football, we used to run around the field because we always, in all of our high schools, we always had a track surrounding the football field. And on the straightaways, we would do a full out sprint, and on the turns, we would jog. That is interval training. You're altering your intensity level. And generally, you would do an intensity of what is considered 60 to 80%. That intensity is generally gauged on heart rate. So if your steady state exercise is 60 to 80%, you're probably training more around the 60 percentile range. In your intervals, you're going to try to get closer to that 80 percentile range in your hard interval. And in your recovery interval, you're going to go generally somewhere between 20 and 40%. As otherwise, it wouldn't be much of an interval. It would be closer to steady state. Then you also have to look at how long are you doing this for? On average, interval training is for 15 to 30 minutes. That is the average. There's no hard set rule saying it can't be longer or shorter for that matter. But that does not include warm up or cool down. So for example, if you were doing a 15-minute interval with a warm-up and cool-down, you've exercised for 30 minutes because you had a 10-minute warm-up, a 15-minute interval, and then you had a 5-minute cool-down. So just make sure you're factoring that warm-up and cool-down in so that you're working out within the time allotment that you have to spare. Also, we also have max interval training. Max interval training is not much different than interval training. It's just the intensity increases. Max interval training means you're going to go above 80% of your intensity level. So you want to be closer to 90. And you can do that for generally the same durations. I personally could care less about doing 15 minutes or hell, even 30 minutes or any amount of time on interval training of the exact same exercise. It gets really dull, really boring, really fast for me. That's just me. It may not be that way for you. So keep that in mind. If you really enjoy jogging, you can go out there and do interval training and you're going to get the same benefits I do that I'm about to tell you about, and it'll be the exercise that you enjoy. All right? Now, some of the benefits of interval training are increasing your body's ability to utilize energy. So you have an anaerobic and anaerobic threshold when it comes to energy. Your anaerobic is your short supply of energy, then your aerobic is your extended supply of energy. It just engages different systems, and your body has to do more, has to go through more processes in order to provide energy over a greater period of time. So with interval training, you actually increases your body's short supply of energy and your body's ability to engage those other systems for a longer period of time during the aerobic capacity portion of exercise. So that's not the only benefits. You also have an increased VO2 max. VO2 max is just a fancy way of saying how well does your body consume oxygen to produce or aid your body in whatever exercise or physical exertion that you are currently undergoing for whatever reason. You also increase your metabolism. Exercise is the only thing that you can do outside of pharmaceuticals to boost your metabolism or to increase your basal metabolic rate. That's it. You know, you can log online and look at all these things and all these sites that say, eat 6 times a day and boost your metabolism. That's crap. I have scientific evidence. I have clinical studies that say that's crap. That's not really what you care about. You're looking at this video about interval training. So on my next video, I will talk more about why that is. That's going to be a video that is covering nutrition. So personally, I have started doing interval training because jogging wasn't getting me what I wanted. And I looked to some fitness professionals, and there was a video that, so I was like, wow, that looks really interesting. That looks fun. And what this fitness professional did is he said, let's just go ahead and take interval training and mix it up a little bit. Why do we have to sit there and do the same exercise at different intensity levels? Why can't we take different exercises and combine them into an interval? And I said, let's take a look at this. Let's see what it's doing. So what this gentleman did is he said, hey, why don't we just say we do that high intensity at that 90% effort for one exercise, keep that going for 45 seconds, then switch muscle groups and keep the intensity. And I thought, wow, that's really awesome. And he'll generally have you do that for about 3 minutes, where you continue to switch muscle groups and you keep that really intense workout going. And I got it, I loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. And I couldn't be happier. Like I was saying in the very beginning, I jogged for a year, granted without changing my diet, with no weight loss. I jogged anywhere from 3 to 8 miles a day. So I wasn't messing around. I was actually doing a lot of cardiovascular exercise. I just wasn't getting the results I wanted. since I've started doing this program, where I do 3 minutes and we just flat out stop for 30 seconds and then we go again for 3 minutes. When I started doing this program, the first time I went through it without changing my diet, I lost 12 pounds because I increased that basal metabolic rate. Well, some of the research studies that I looked at said if you do interval training, you can increase your metabolic rate for up to 24 hours post-exercise. 24 hours of burning more calories. That is phenomenal. I loved that. And it worked. Since I started changing my diet, I slowly for 1 week just started easing myself into it. I lost an additional 3 pounds. And then when I started really paying attention to what I'm doing on my diet, I lost an additional 3 pounds. So in 2.5 months, I lose 18 pounds. I have people pulling me aside saying, "Holy crap, Jeremy, you look great. You've lost a lot of weight." And I couldn't be happier. You know how good that makes you feel when people say, "Ooh, wow, you look good." You know, I can see the difference. And it's been a pretty amazing process that I have really enjoyed. I encourage you to place posts, ask questions. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that I know all the answers, but I will try to get you whatever answers I can from good scientific research. I don't want to go off of BS. I don't want to go off of, oh, he said, she said type of websites and wishy-washy stuff. I want hard scientific facts. So I encourage you to contact me. I will help you in any way I possibly can because I want to help you on your fitness path. I've experienced good success and I want to help others experience the same type of success I've had. I will continue to make these videos. These videos will lag behind my blog because I started doing the blog before I started doing these videos. And I'm going to go back and make a video for all the different blogs. If you do want to check out my blog, it'd be great. It is www.jbsfitnessquest.blogspot.com. JB's Fitness Quest is JBSFITNESSQUEST. Alright. I've really enjoyed making this video. Thank you so much for your time, and get a hold of me if you need me. It was nice. Thank you. Good night.